Right, people. How are we going? State of Origin. We're back. Game number 2. A second bit of rugby league I'll have watched in a relatively short time for me. Obviously, the Queenslanders took out that first game. How are we calling this one for the second? I didn't see the lineups because I didn't figure it would be worth me looking because I probably won't remember many of the names, but by all accounts, from what the commentators said, the New South Wales boys have shifted things up a bit. Alad, mate, what is the sport on this channel? Man, we did State of Origin 1 as well. It was something a bit different, that's for sure. Love mum, I am indeed getting my beer ready. My frosty tui is here as always. Darramundi man, who are you picking for this one? Jay says Queensland, let's go. Fred's got the Blues. Scooter says, who do you go for? I mean, I have more family in Queensland than New South Wales, but bro, I'm not really fussed. What do I remember from the last game, Junaid? I seem to remember New South Wales kind of hanging on for long periods. I remember Cobbo. I remember it being pretty much as I remembered league being played. Like it wasn't drastically different. I remember the atmosphere was awesome. The atmosphere looks good in this one as well. Yeah. Vague memories. Pretty vague. Staley, I forgot this was a thing. What was that one New South Wales player that you became the one I'm a fan of? That was Cobbo, who was a Queensland player. I think he's still playing for this one. Alright. We've had kickoff, so they're actually relatively on time. Well done. The battle resumes. My clock is at 10 seconds. Kai wants Queensland to win. Did I catch the Curry Cup final? No, I didn't catch the Curry Cup final, but it was two teams that don't normally compete in the Curry Cup final as far as I'm aware. Ellen, I think if you've got a VPN, you could jump on 9, the Aussie broadcaster, because I think it's free to air, but someone correct me if I'm wrong. Victoria, how's it going? That guy, number 13 for Queensland, has got quite the mullet. Man, listen to that crowd. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is being played in Perth, right? I just got to a minute, Junaid, a minute and 2. Xavier's going for Queensland. I feel like more Kiwis go for Queensland than New South Wales. Bro, big tackle. Munster and mullet guy. Grant, yes man. The confusion resumes. How's it going, bro? How's life in the desert? Corrected as Perth. Who are the Perth fans going to go for? Are they going to go for Queensland or New South Wales? Cleary's kick was a massive one. Montpellier, Victoria. Yeah, quite the win. I didn't actually see it. Disgraceful, I know. I watched nothing this weekend. I haven't even seen the MLR final. I took my kids to the zoo. There's a ton of rugby on in July. Rugby union. And I figured I may not have as much time to take my kids to the zoo. So I took them today. So, busy parenting weekend, investing some minutes in the kids because I'm going to be busy in July. Here we go. Charge down. Don't see much of that in rugby league, do we? Not that I would know. I don't think we saw one last week, did we? Maybe one. Would you like to see humping the floor become part of union? No, I think we can live without the humping the floor. I think I'm good. They were in Division 2 last year. Come straight up and win it. It was awesome. Eh? Montpellier? No. Played in Perth, Western Australia. Government paid to have it at this stage. Wow, it's crazy. Good ad for the state, I guess, the city. Oh, they couldn't capitalise on that charge down. It's a bit disappointing. Last week, Allards in Wales. Yeah, man, you're off to your new digs. That'll be a change for you. Bro, I moved to China when I was 21, so going to Brighton from Wales should be right. I reckon you'll be right. Grant, I believe that thing you're looking at is the tackle counter. So they have to kick it after they've been tackled. Well, I think the 6th time is usually when they kick it. Because if they get tackled on the 6th time, they have to give the ball over. And yes, the smallest room in the UK. If you guys don't know, Allard is moving to an apartment probably about the size of the room that I'm in. And that's his whole apartment. Uruguay versus Japan happened. Yes, mate. Oh, what are they blowing this back for? There was a big line break. Obstruction, okay. Yeah, Uruguay for Japan was not on Sky here in NZ, man. So I've only found one website that had it. I'm yet to watch it. If 2 cents is my guide for rugby league, good luck. Yeah, this is kind of the blind leading. If anyone is worse than me, the blind. I don't know what was wrong with that. That looked alright. I don't know. No idea. Haas was in an offside position. Okay. There you go. Kai is your guide. Keep my eyes up, Jeanette. Alright. Here come the Maroons. Yeah, you can hear New South Wales being chanted in the crowd. Oh, Cobbo! He couldn't get the ball down, did he? Surely not. My man Cobbo, he's unstoppable. Here goes Cobbo. Nah, well, didn't even get close to it. You gonna watch Spain-Portugal game back? I didn't even know they played, which is disgraceful. I know Scotland A played Chile, but I didn't see that Spain played Portugal. Is it on World Rugby site? For me, league is more about territory, get the ball up and fewer tackles, and union is more about possession. Yeah, I guess that could be true. I've seen a few teams in union who play a lot of territory and don't like the ball. But definitely in league, you don't want to be facing a set of 6 in your own half. Bloody good crowd, man. Every time they zoom out for the high kicks. Well, they won the ball back, but they're still on 5th tackle. What can they do? Another kick. That's a stinker. I think it is. It was only streamed in Italy. Oh, Italy, Portugal, not Spain. Okay, bro. I didn't know that was the game either. In theory, it should be close to 50-50 position in the league. That makes sense. Hand? That makes a lot of sense because unless you're making errors on your own ball, you should get as much time with the ball as the opposition, eh? It was enjoyable. Okay. I'll have to see if I can find a copy of it because I'm actually collecting stats on Italy. And their... Am I doing their depth chart? I'll need to find a copy of it somehow. Still no score. Over 8 minutes in. My SkyGo decided it will not cooperate. Must not, not like you watching League. It's protesting, mate. Want to see a test match soon, mate? Not long to go. I mean, Japan's already played Uruguay twice. Scotland, Chile, and Ella is saying Italy and Spain. And then there's a ton of rugby on next week. Alright, since my one-stop shop for league coverage, how much to get the Reds shirt on this time? I don't know. I'm in Ospreys gear at the moment. Ooh, Captain's Challenge. We'll come back to that. When does Super Brew start? I've already opened the pool, Starleo, mate. I'll put a link up on... it's already on Patreon. Otherwise, I'll put it up on like a post at some point. Ella didn't realize I'm wearing Osprey's gear. Sorry about this, mate. I don't know what just happened. There's HIA? Do they do those in League? He's got blood coming out of his ear, so yeah, that sounds like a good idea. There was a high tackle. Do they even do high tackles in League? What happened with that TMO call? Someone explain it to me. Hoping to see the ABs versus Pumas in Hamilton with your hubby. Years since you've been out on a date. Oh, you got to take him out sometime, surely. My brother and his missus, they take fucking, excuse my language, they take dates all the bloody time. Went off for a few minutes. What did you miss, Junaid? They had like the equivalent of a TMO, but I don't really know what happened. Challenge was successful, just deemed it was a strip. Okay. Thank you for the education. Murray was dipping down into the tackle. Talangi was the right arm, collected him high. How was the viewing for game one, Sammy? I mean, yeah, it was a bit different for me. It wasn't the greatest game of League we've ever seen, but it had a good finish. So, yeah, it's certainly, as someone else put it, like, it's like better than the worst rugby games you've seen. And just like a rugby game, when it finishes with a grandstand finish, it's a good thing. The intensity is certainly high. These guys make a million bloody tackles, that's for sure. There's less faffing about. So that part was pleasing. But I mentioned it last time. I still kind of struggle with the. Both teams pretty much seem to play the same game plan as far as I can see because I don't understand what's going on. Joseph, mate, how's it going? We're watching some league for a change. 2-0. Not a score we can have in Union. An Osprey shirt flashing. Yeah, I've been wearing it all day actually. Wearing it all day. Alan's getting behind the boys in blue because he's a Tarsman. Makes sense. They are playing in Perth, Richard. Yes, they are. And they've got a sellout, so it speaks to how big State of Origin is that they still sell out Perth. Yeah, Sammy. I mean, with League, I honestly don't know much about what's going on. I know the individual skills are massive. The tactics pretty much just seem to be run it up and then kick it for everybody, which kind of makes sense because that's the rules of the game. They don't muck around like setting scrums and lineouts and stuff because they don't really have those. I know they have the scrums, but they don't waste any time, which I can see why people like that because there's always something to look at. Like Union, you can sometimes put the excuse my language, I swear sometimes on the streams if you're not here that often. Sometimes in Union you can put the fucking kettle on because you know this scrum's going to take ages, right? They don't have that in League, so both games have got good points, bad points. Tackle numbers are always very impressive. Yes, Stalio, because they don't stop. They just keep playing and playing. Oh, a month has been charged down again. But they'll start that set again, eh? Because it got touched by a New South Wales hand. I know, League. I know. You're pretty sure they'd sell out Eden Park if they brought a game over here? You might be right. Tim. What's funny? What did I say that's funny? How's it going, Tim? Tim went to the Barbars game the other day, England. Found it interesting the game stopped at right on 80 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. It does. That's a little bit anticlimactic. Oh, he's caught a boot to the chin. Nasty. Alan's about to put the kettle on. Fair enough, mate. I've still got a half-drunk cup of tea sitting over there. Swearing a lot more in the Origin streams than all the Super games. Is that maybe it's because it's a bit later? I don't know. We're gonna have to do some streams next month, folks. Honestly, there's so much rugby on. It's unbelievable. We are so spoiled for choice. Up the Barbars. I wish I had a Barbars jersey. I ordered one from Lovell years ago? A year ago, I will say. When they had some... No, I would have still been working at the uni, so more than a year ago. When they had some deal where if you spent a certain amount of money, you got a voucher. So I spent enough of that money by getting like 3 jerseys in one hit. And then they were out of stock of the Barbars jersey after I'd fucking ordered it. You're right when you said both teams have to have the same game plan. Flashing. Yeah, every time I watch League, I can't say that I've seen it. Oh! Cobbo. Nah, he bounced that. He didn't get pressure down on it. But yeah, each team seems to play pretty much exactly the same way. It's not like Fiji versus the Springboks kind of thing, or Fiji versus Georgia, Highlanders against Brumbies, that kind of thing, where you can be like, right, this team likes to play this way, this team likes to play that way. He just bounced it. Nah. Will I cover the NRL playoffs? Nah, I wouldn't know what I'm talking about, man. I hardly know what I'm talking about with rugby. I don't mind doing the stream as a bit of fun. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to add any value to a league conversation. I don't know any of the players. Nah, but that's interesting for a stream. What's my yearly rugby shirt budget? Well, interestingly, when I used to be working, like at the uni, I would spend my university paycheck on, things like my fucking mortgage and power and internet and, daycare, food. And then I would get a paycheck from YouTube in a month and I'd be like, fucking free money, man. Let's buy a rugby jersey. But now that I don't work at the uni, I have to spend all that YouTube money on those same things. So yeah, not much. I don't really buy any jerseys anymore. I think I bought maybe 2 jerseys this year. I bought Moana Pacifica's jersey at the start of the season because my missus gets a discount at Rebel Sport, and I bought a Gloucester jersey from eBay, which was a old second-hand one, but yeah, I wanted to have another premiership team. So yeah, not much anymore. It used to be pretty nice. Swear counter hits 4. Junaid's keeping count. Morning, everyone. 2 cents not long until the first test between our countries. Yeah, man. There's a lot of rugby coming up, not just New Zealand, Ireland, but I'm especially pumped for New Zealand, Ireland, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be happy days. Did I watch the MLR final, Joe? Nah, man. I took my kids out pretty much all day, but it is on my agenda to watch tomorrow. Oh, what an offload. Come on, New South Wales. Do something. Oh, he's lost the ball. Well, that's something. Let's buy an England jersey. You have to pay me. Interestingly, Richard, I haven't ever bought an England jersey. Both England jerseys have been sent to me. Ireland jerseys have always been sent to me. I bought a Wales jersey, and I've also had 2 sent to me. I didn't buy Scotland. That was sent to me. Yeah, a shitload was sent, hey? Which July series do you think will be the closest? I mean, England and Australia looks pretty good. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Gazza reckons New Zealand Ireland's going to be 2-1. You should add some rugby league jerseys to your collection. Everyone loves the big, huge V. I think my wife is already pretty... I don't want to say had enough, but yeah, I don't think I need to start adding another sports jersey. Otherwise, I don't want to say I'll get in trouble, because I won't really get in trouble, but you know what I mean. It's hard to justify. Did I see the top 14 final? Nah, man. Again, I was pretty much knowing that July is going to be stuffed. I went pretty much full parenting mode this weekend. And no, bruh, there's no spots yet. I deliberately didn't use State of Origin in the title. I used Origin, because last time I used State of Origin and the mods were having to frantically delete bots like mad. Avies Beyond is going to be close. Yeah, you might be right. Always next year for the top 14. I'm still debating how to do it next year, eh? Because I feel like at times this year I was giving myself too much to do on the weekends, eh? Like, that's just sad to say. Too much rugby on. Like, I feel bad when my son's like, Dad, can you come play? And I'm like, I just got to finish this game, son. Because I'd be like watching fucking some Premiership MLR URC game I need to find a smarter way to do it. Don't jinx it here with the bots. Well, at least there's a few of you guys here this time. Ireland's attack's bloody good. Yeah. It's interesting with the games against the Māori All Blacks as well. There's a lot of rugby on. Top 14 because France is hosting. Actually, that's a fair call. Are we expecting a higher scoring second half? What's the deal with league? As these guys get tired, do things usually open up a bit in the second half, or is it just kind of every game's different? Hope Japan can upset the French team. Has anyone actually seen, any of you guys based in New Zealand, seen if Sky has got the rights to all the games? I mean, I am assuming they do. But they didn't have Japan, Uruguay, the ones played this weekend. Skip Super Rugby. Nah, I don't think I could do that. Origin, the game could stay 0-0 for up to 70 minutes. Okay, I guess it's just because both teams are so evenly matched. Just watched Chile versus Scotland. Hey, bro, I haven't managed to find a stream of that yet. If you know where I can find it, do let me know. Although the chat won't allow you to put any links. Scotland look like a new team. I do feel like Scotland has issues with what goes on in the back room. Try time. What a try. And what is it with asses getting exposed in league? We saw like 3 asses last week and we're only 20 minutes in. We've already seen an ass this week. It's on YouTube. Which YouTube channel? Or is it like recently been uploaded or what? Queensland scored a try. I don't know who the guy is. He lost his pants halfway down, but scored the try with them back up. So it's a lead change. How do they get this? Oh, yeah, just a missed tackle. What a try. Cheeky little try, Victoria. I see what you did there. Felici Kaufusi. Okay. Oh, there he is. Felici Kaufusi. 14 consecutive appearances in Origin. Man, he must be quite a good player. They're cracking it. I'll see what you did there as well. Always with the shorts down the league. Is this one of the selling points? Is this how they get some people to watch? Right, is he going to get the conversion? Yes, he is. Good kick. Not an easy kick, but he's kicked it. 6 points. I know how to score. I know the scoring. It's only the highlights. Ah, man, I want to watch the full game. But if I can't find the full game, I'll check the highlights. Give the ladies a show. And some of the guys. That's fine. I've been in the stadiums when literally heard ladies especially just like sitting there ogling the players. That's a thing. Francois, man, how's it going? I have not seen the Curry Cup final, mate. I'm afraid not. I haven't seen the top 14 final, the Curry Cup final, or the MLR final just yet. I was telling some of the others earlier, because of all the rugby that's coming up in July, I pretty much spent this entire weekend intensely parenting. Can I watching the Com Games? Oh man, when are the Commonwealth Games on? If Owen Farrell had only followed in his father's footsteps, we could have seen his ass as well. He's still got time. He's still got some time left in his career to make a late code switch. How is rugby league doing in the UK now? Is it still? Is it on the up? Is it on the down? Is it just kind of tracking along? What are these teams like in terms of the sport? They are, Alad, mate, these teams are pretty much like all-star teams from the NRL. I would say many of the best league players in the world come from Australia. And yeah, this is pretty much higher intensity than international. Someone who's a league fan, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way I read it. It's popular in the north of England. Backroom troubles in the Scotland squad is a joke. Oh, I got distracted earlier. What I was meant to say was just like, yeah, it feels like some of the big names maybe don't all listen to Gregor. It seems like there's a few too many chiefs, kind of, what is it, spawn, too many chefs spawn the broth. Oh, it's a try. New South Wales are in front. Oh, Mr. Distracted, mate. $5 for rivaling Gus Gould for League Insight. There we go. I understand this game. Sure, I do. But cheers, man. Far too kind. And you unleashed the bots. But we'll forgive you. Cheers, man. Much appreciated. I'll put it to the next Jersey fund. Alright, I need to watch this try back and replay to see what happened. Cleary, I know who he is, with the little dink. He looks just like his dad, that's the only reason I recognise him. And then, yeah, pretty much beats him one-on-one. South African team struggled in Super Rugby, but they dominated the URC, so Super Rugby may be a better competition. It's hard to compare. I've actually got a video coming out maybe Monday or Tuesday about a comparison between Super Rugby, the URC, and the Premiership. So yeah, you can have a look at that and see some interesting trends anyway. That bot, if you're not aware, the bot was called Tinder Overpriced Shit. Try us 18 plus. Yeah, I can still see it on my end. Although the link just says message deleted now. Try scored by Matt Burton. Matt Burton. Okay. And he's going to kick it, so it's going to be a 2-point game. Nailed it. 8 points to 6, folks. 8 points to 6. Wonderful pickup on the run, Grant. Yeah, man. Like, if there's one thing that League does not lack, it's incredible skill set. Like, you see some pretty magic stuff. Look at that lady in the crowd. She was loving it. Pointing out the camera to her mate. Go the Blues, she screams. Lovely try, as much as you hate to say it, Distracted. Yeah, mate. Yep, pretty good work. Isn't Tinder free? I don't actually know. Tinder is too late for my generation, I guess. Maybe. Don't watch the URC because all the refs are biased to the Irish teams. Richard, you're opening a can of worms. There's some shots going to be fired. I'll tell you, the South African fans weren't too happy with the standard of the refereeing when the URC started. I'll tell you that much right now. What you said earlier was true. State of Origin is the highest standard of league. That was my impression, but yeah, I'm glad to have that confirmed. Alaran, mate. Someone in this neck of the woods out in Western Australia won't be watching, but man, do the Eastern State Aussies get excited. Well, if you'd seen that lady in the crowd, yeah, she was a living proof of that. Tinder is free. I had a Tinder marriage, then a Tinder divorce. They weren't free. Ouch. What was the reason the Wallabies struggled so much under Cheika? Yeah, he didn't seem to really adapt his coaching as time went by. I feel like rugby is it's like a constant state of like, I don't know, like rock, paper, scissors, where someone figures out a new or different way to win the games. Other teams try to figure them out, right? Like, oh, here we go, Ponga. Munster. You're not going to stop him, man. What a high scoring up. Shouldn't have taken that second to celebrate, man. That was risky. You only had half a second. You didn't get to do a full celebration. Wait till you put the ball down, son. But yeah, still pretty good try. Good try. Yeah, Ponga with the broken tackle. And then it's just support play. Once you get a line break, the other team's fucked, eh? This game's going to be a roller coaster. I think this game's already a better watch than last week's one. Although last week had the grandstanding finish. This one's had more entertainment value so far. As Grant says, pretty lovely handling. Well, how come there's so many passionate fans about Queensland based in Western Australia? Don't know how it works. Oh, distracted. You're a happy chappy with that one, eh? It was a pretty well worked try. Ponga, man, he's just too much gas. One-handed pass. Too skilled, man. Cheers, bro. We're edging out way closer to that Reds jersey, aren't we? Is he going to get the kick? Yes, he is. It is 12 points to 8. Don't get why Australian rules football and rugby league are so split in Australia. Each state doesn't seem to care about the other sports. It seems odd how it happened. Yeah, I'm not sure if any other countries, I'm sure there are other examples, are quite like that. Right? Like, are there some areas of the states that, like, only love fucking American football and couldn't give a shit about baseball? Or, I mean, I guess American football and baseball aren't really the ones to compare, but you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think New Zealand has so much of a sporting divide. I think league is bigger in Auckland than anywhere else, but It's a great 2 cents debate. Would you rather be a high-scoring blower rubbish match for 70 minutes? You just say, oh yeah, we've had this debate a few times, haven't we? Stephen, the way I remember the Irish teams is Ulster's at the top, Leinster's on the right, which is the east, Munster's in the south, and Connacht's in the west. So they're real easy, north, south, east, and west. That's the way I remember it. It's not quite that simple, but pretty much. Oh yeah, France. Actually, Victoria, right. The south is rugby and the north is football. Yeah, that's true. Have I got any 2 cents rugby merch? I did for a while, but the guy I was working with disappeared and he lives miles away, so I didn't kind of follow up with him. I sent him a couple of emails, but I never heard back from him. So he was making it all in-house, but yeah. You're not allowed to rip the ball from their hands. I can answer this question, Allard, because I watched it last week. You're only allowed to strip in the tackle if it's a one-on-one tackle. If it's a multiple player tackle, then you're not allowed to strip the ball. That's one of those ones that you need to be told, which isn't, I don't think it's that intuitive. And there's David says, you can rip one-on-one. There you go. Need a Gazamania shirt. There we go. That's true. He literally, like, how about I read you when he sends me actual text instead of voice messages? I will read you how he signs off his messages, right? So he went away for Matariki weekend, right? Oh my God! Look at the size of his messages. God, I'm not reading that one too long. Where's one there? Alright, I said to him that we were leaving the zoo because we went to the zoo. And he says to me, he's typing this out with his 72-year-old hands. He texts rather slowly, but he can text. Hope you had a great time. Gaza with 1 Z, Gaza with 2 Zs, Gary, Gazamania, and Garibaldi. Like, that's the way he signs off. Like, he's got as many names signing off his message as he does actual words in the text. That's my dad. He is a character. Does Gaza watch this? He told me he watches it the next day. He doesn't want to watch it live because it's on too late. We're almost at half time. There's like just under 4 minutes to go. New South Wales have got a new set in Queensland's territory, but loose ball. What a pickup. Who's that 15 for the Blues? Goodness me. Oh, the 5, sorry, not 15. They don't have 15, do they? We'd be a sub. We do have trivia. Yes, we'll save that for half time. Is that for every text? It's not for every text, Ella, but it's for many texts. Many. Do you know of a YouTuber called Stephen Somerville Irish Rugby? I'm afraid I don't, but I'll definitely check him out. Five is a winger. I only know that 1 is a fullback. New South Welsh boys were not happy about the interference. I think in rugby that gets called. If you look over your shoulder and back into someone, I think that gets called. League seems to be a little bit like that. Like tackles that are a bit high, they're just like, oh, fuck it, that's fine. In rugby, they're just like, nah, man, that's on purpose. 2-5 wing 3. What? Oh, he's just short. One more. Oh, 6 again. Oh, shit. New South Wales have got to score here. Oh, shit. Someone's going to the bin. Cynical. I love how they don't have cards. They're just like, let's keep the game moving. I'm not even taking time to reach for my pocket. 10 minutes. 10. Too many penalties in a short space of time. That sounds just like rugby union. Alid, mate, you're confused about the numbers. I'm not going to be able to remember them either. All I know is they're reversed. That's why the fullback is number 1. That's the only one I can actually remember. But, yeah. 2 and 5 are wings. I guess that makes sense. What the fuck is this sport? I'm so confused. Honestly, Ellen, I can't get my head around the numbers either. But just remember 1 is fullback and you'll be at the same level as me. Watch up. Alright, surely the Blues have to score here. They can't mess this up. You got a minute to go. You got a fresh set. You're like 10 out from the line. You have to score. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. They had to score. That was coming. Coming from Auckland, I forget that a lot of Union fans aren't at least exposed to league. I went to Warriors games when I was a kid. Certainly, up until about the age of 12, maybe even a bit older. What year was that? They started in 95. So I would have been at least 12, maybe a bit older. Maybe like 14. But I never learned the numbers and shit. My dad used to take me to Warriors games though. Blues have to win this because they lost the Super Rugby final. The New South Wales team have to win this because they lost the first game, that's for sure. Don't worry about the numbers, folks. It doesn't matter so much at all. I think Union, the body shapes are more like obvious as to what position they probably play compared to league, right? Yeah, I mean, you've still certainly got some flankers who look like they could go into the midfield and some midfielders who look like they could pack down on the flank, but like, in Union, a prop looks like a prop, man, for the most part, so the league guys are all a bit more lean, eh? League pack has 2 props, a hooker, 2 second rows, and a loose forward like a number 8. Okay. Is he going to get this kick, or is it all going to be tied up at half time? Got the first Auckland Warriors jersey, the DB Bitter one. Oh man, that's a classic. He's nailed the conversion, so New South Wales will take in a lead at halftime. Well done. Have I seen Thurston's conversions? Jonathan Thurston? I must have. I know he was a pretty good goal kicker, that's for sure. Love that you're commentating on league. To be honest, John, mate, this is more of like an education for me. I don't really know what the hell's going on with the league, but yeah, it's a pretty intense game, that's for sure. Is that the same girl who does the commentary on the rugby? What's her name? Like Alana? Don't know. Oh, we've got a second bot. Smashed. Who did that? Who got it? Why do you even need forwards in league? No scrum or lineup. They do have scrums, but they don't seem to really do much other than put all the guys in one place for a short time. Alana Ferguson, that's right. I remember she was like a dual code international, so that's cool. New Zealand needs North versus South 3-game series like Origin. They certainly could build something up around North versus South, but when would they fit it into the calendar, eh? That's always the problem. They only did North versus South during COVID to get some money, basically. First half better than the last game, Junaid, 100%. No contest. The first game was a bit of a stinker. This one, like halftime, I mean. This game has been kind of action-packed. So, yeah. More like non-contested scrums. Yeah, pretty much. They're really fast. They don't fuck around. Right. Trivia from the beer bottle top says, and it's a really, really, really easy question, which you only have to have the slightest knowledge of the sport to get the answer. So you won't even need to Google it. But which Williams' sister has won more tennis majors? There you go. Which Williams' sister has won more tennis majors? Serena, says Ellard, and Ellard is correct, along with Jezza and Daramundi and Ducks Quack and Nice Food and Fleshin and Victoria and Jed. That guy, Starlio. That guy says Serena by far. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Imagine, what's it like to be Venus Williams? It's like you're one of the best tennis players in the world, and you're still way worse than your sister. Like, who else is kind of in that situation? Like, I know in New Zealand, like, Martin Crowe was like a legend of New Zealand cricket, and Jeff Crowe was pretty good. Like, Jeff Crowe was certainly international, had a big impact on the game, but like, he was the lesser of the two Crows, if you know what I mean. Who else has been in that kind of thing? I know Wayne Gretzky, his brother, I think, played a couple of games in the NHL, but not many at all. So there's like some trivia question that's like, which two brothers have scored like the most goals or something like that in the NHL, and it's like Wayne Gretzky and his brother, and like it's all Wayne Gretzky. You know what I mean? Like, his brother didn't do anything, but Wayne Gretzky was that good. Like, as a brothers combo, that he's still better than most brothers combined. It's like being Scott Barrett. Scott Barrett's the one who got to lift up the Super Rugby trophy the other day. Andy Murray's brother. Oh, yeah, true. I forgot he had a brother, to be honest. Johnny Brownlee, the triathlete, his brother is a 2-time Olympic champion. Cornell Brothers in Union, yeah, true. Josh and Jack Goodhue, yeah, that's another fair call. Yeah. Venus seems like a nicer person. Yeah, she's always really. Maybe that's just what it is. She's less driven, maybe less competitive. Like often the top athletes, not often, but many top athletes seem to be kind of so driven that they can be a bit obnoxious, I guess. But you can't coach that kind of determination, right? A cup of tea's getting pretty cold. Dale Hadley, Richard Hadley's brother. True. I feel like Scott doesn't get the props of his two brothers because he does all the dirty work. Oh, that's just the Ford's life, isn't it? Try being a prop. Like, how has Tyg Furlong never been nominated for World Rugby Player of the Year? Well, even Stephen Kitsoff in his best years probably deserves a nomination at some point, but they don't even get nominated, let alone win the bloody thing. George Horn. Wow. Why did the Scots always hate Pete Horn, eh? What did he ever do? Did Julian Savia ever play with Artie for the ABs? I think they had a slight overlap time, didn't they? Oh, the Creel twins, yeah. Yeah, didn't Jesse Creel's brother go to the MLR, or is that a different Creel? The Crow brothers in cricket. Yeah, the Crow brothers definitely. It's funny because when I played cricket as a kid, they gave our teams names based off New Zealand cricketers. So you would be on Team Great Batch, and they would be playing Team Morrison. I was on Team Jeff Crow. So I've always had a soft spot for Jeff Crow. That's why he was the first one that came to my mind. But, yeah. But speaking of like how the more competitive sibling can kind of be a bit obnoxious, I may have told this before, but when Jeff Crow retired from cricket, he and his brother played a testimonial match for Jeff at my local cricket club, which they both belong to, and they called it Crow versus Crow, right? Because Martin Crow versus Jeff Crow, they each picked a team. And like, you know, usually in testimonial matches, it's supposed to be a bit of fun, right? It's supposed to be a bit like a Barbars game, or even less formal than that, right? But I went to that game as a kid, and Martin Crow was quite determined to kick the living shit out of his brother's team. They fucking mopped the floor with them. There was no holds barred. It was like full on. Like, he wanted to win, and he wanted to win big. Like, who does that? Yeah. Very competitive people, I guess. The War twins in cricket had a not so friendly relationship. Right. It's probably similar. Aren't they related to Russell Crowe? I think they are, man. We're all kind of cousins with each other over here in New Zealand. Maybe brothers are both always competitive with each other? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And once you're at like a professional sportsman level, it's like extra competitive. If the Crows wanted to fight, they should have called their cousin. Yeah, true. He's competitive in a different way. Ruben doesn't know much about this league. You and me both, mate. You and me both. They're not putting any halftime show on here in New Zealand. It's just an ad for Dynamo Professional Discs, which are for washing aprons, apparently. How quick did the Irish game sell out for Eden Park? Yeah, man. I didn't think tickets would sell that quick, and then they were gone. I was like, oh, fuck. Guess I'm not going to that game, so that's alright. Man, you guys have got hundreds of examples of these competitive brothers and stuff, sisters, whatnot. Will I stream the Māori All Blacks Ireland? Yeah, bro, I would not miss it for the world. I know it's a Wednesday, which is not our normal streaming day. And unlike today, a lot of you guys will still be at work or whatnot in other parts of the world. But, I mean, come on. We got to do it. Ellen and your brother. I mean, to be fair, I smashed my brother at pretty much every sport we played as well. So, yeah. Wednesday. Yeah, Janae, man, Wednesday. Māori All Blacks against Islanders on Wednesday. How crazy is that? It's come out of nowhere. Gotta love international rugby season. Manning brothers in the NFL? Yeah, true. I'm trying to think, what's the other one's name? Peyton, and who's the other one? TJ is playing for the Māori All Blacks. He is. He is playing for the Māori All Blacks. That may have been a factor with some of the All Black selections. I don't know. But, like, someone like Folau Fakatava is not eligible for the Māori All Blacks. So they get him in the squad and put TJ into the Māori All Blacks. I mean, maybe that's just form. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but yeah. I know they wanted to get some guys in the Māori All Blacks side. So Eli Manning, that's right. Has there ever been a more competitive father and son rivalry than Mark and his boy over pies? You're not going to let that go that I ate half of my son's pie when he was feeling unwell. He didn't want it. I swear to God, he didn't want it. Oh, man. Yeah, you have to be Māori to get into the Māori All Blacks. They do your genealogy somehow. So they didn't used to be as strict on it back in the day, but they are, yeah, they're pretty strict about it these days. So yeah, someone like Fakatava wouldn't be getting in. Glad you believe me. Nice food. You gotta believe me. Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits and his brother David left the band after the first album. Artistic differences. We still didn't go with brothers in arms. Guess you could argue the Oasis brothers as well. I don't know. What percent Māori am I? 0 as far as I'm aware. My mum's got a pretty extensive family tree. There's some interesting stuff on there, but nothing Māori. I don't think anyone's really done it for my for my dad's side of the family. I went to a pie shop in Kumia today. Would recommend. Unlike Mark, I didn't eat my child's pie though. I'm gonna get beer. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back. But actually, now that you mention it, I think maybe the pie incident did stick with my son, because the last time I took him to the bakery, he pointed at the pies and was like, "Dad, I like eating these pies." But I didn't get him one, because then I ended up getting him something sweet. But maybe that was his way of telling me, "Dad, Next time, don't eat my fucking pie, you fat piece of shit. Excuse my language. Why am I getting so sweary? Don't know. Can I speak Māori? Nah, man. I mean, I know a few basic words that pretty much every Kiwi encounters, but nah. I speak Chinese, but I can't speak Māori. Whoa, saw the walking video pop up. The failed IKEA. You never heard of Nido? You never heard of Nido, Junaid? This guy set up a fake IKEA, basically. Not a fake IKEA, but this guy a couple of years ago in New Zealand, because New Zealand doesn't have any IKEA stores, he set up a big store which was basically going to be a rip-off of an IKEA before IKEA gets into the New Zealand market, but it flopped and it went out of business. Yeah. Cullen Grace is what percent Māori? I don't know, but I know they have to do their genealogy before they can get in the team. So if he's in the team, he'll be eligible. Russia no longer has IKEA. Russia doesn't have McDonald's either. My swearing needs a lot of six again. Okay. It took me a while to get there. That's a league reference. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. Do other islanders qualify as Māori? No. It used to. I think it used to. They used to be pretty lax with it. But no, you genuinely have to have some Māori blood in you. Like the Ioane brothers would qualify because they've got I think their dad is Samoan, but their mum is Māori, so they would qualify, that kind of thing. But Falau Fakatava is just from Tonga, so he doesn't qualify. Second hour's underway. Do I get more Welsh or Irish in my streams, Alad? I don't actually know. It's hard with the stats because Wales being in the UK just comes up as UK. It doesn't separate like Scotland, England, Northern Ireland and Wales. It just comes up as UK. That's a huge kick. Bloody hell. That kick was massive. Seen league players play for both Tonga and New Zealand? Yeah, they have much looser eligibility criteria than Union. Kind of wish Fakatava played for Tonga. Yeah, you, me, both. But I think he has spent a long time in New Zealand. Like since he was a teenager. But I think he's another rugby scholarship guy. 15 maybe? When he got here? I don't know. But yeah, he's the kind of player that you would like to see playing for Tonga. Thoughts on the Joe Schmidt in the AB setup? I think he will certainly add a bit of brain power to that All Blacks coaching setup. Yeah, I think someone else mentioned it before. I don't think the All Blacks are all that big on their kind of analytical stuff, and that's where Joe Schmidt's brain comes in. Monster's got a kick? No. One-handed offload. These guys with their one-handed offloads are pretty mad. There we go. New South Wales cleans it up. Junaid's off, so let's start swearing while he's gone. Tomalolo played for Tonga, switched to New Zealand and back to Tonga. I didn't know that. I know he switched from New Zealand to Tonga. I think League's attitude just seems to be they want the best guys playing. Because, I mean, League doesn't exactly have heaps of international games and stuff, right? So, yeah. They need as many competitive teams as they can field. Traditionally, this used to be Great Britain, New Zealand, and Australia, right? Minicello played for Australia, then switched to Italy. I didn't even know Italy had a team. Turnover ball. Here we go. New South Wales are going to have a set of 6 inside the Queensland half. Hands. Oh, he just couldn't get his arm free to go for the score. Huge pass. They got numbers, surely. A yellow card has to be a yellow card. 10 minutes in the bin has to be more. It has to be harder to deal with for a league team, eh? Because going down from 15 to 14 is a little bit less space. But 13 to 12 means even more ground to cover. Italy have quite a good league team. No way. Really? They've got to be all Aussies. They have to be all Aussies. They knocked that on. Forward pass. Blowing chance for the New South Wales boys there. Cameron Munster gets right up my nose. He's annoyingly good. He got caught doing the white stuff. I know the league does seem to have a little bit more of that than Union. I mean, I know Union has the odd scandal every now and again, but yeah. Tonga players, Izzy Folau, Sam Losi, Big Ben, Tamiafuna comes to my mind whenever I think of the Tongan team. Kurt Morath, but surely he's retired. They are mental in league, drink and drugs. Oh, what a pass. What's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing? The good thing about league, I guess, from their own point of view, is if you throw a dumb pass like that, you basically just dive on the ball. And then that mistake is over because then you just get a chance to reset. Like in rugby, just then you'd have been under the pump at the breakdown, probably giving away a penalty. Big Ben, 140 plus kicks. Yeah, he's a big unit of a man. Big Ben's surprisingly good kicker. I think I've seen video on him on Twitter taking shots at goal, and you're right, he was surprisingly nimble. Here we go. What do the Blues do here? Miracle play. Started horrendously, but now they're starting to look pretty sharp. Oh, Munster gets them out of jail. You're going to go through the Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, and Aussie A squads. Probably not. Probably not. Unfortunately. I will see if I can follow the Pacific Nations Cup. I'll see how we go for time. But sometimes with the tier 2 stuff, it's one of those ones where it's like Mr. Taiwan Cricket. Taiwan's not China. Where'd that come from? Cheers, man. Good to have you along. How's the cricket this time of year? It's one of those ones where it's surprisingly hard to get information about some of those squads. You have to dig for it more than like the All Blacks, obviously. And yeah, the videos don't get that many views. But when I have time permitting, I still try my best. Just Googled South Africa's last league game. They lost to the Cook Islands 66-6. Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Andrew Johns, greatest league player ever, has a history with ecstasy. There's worse drugs you could be doing, I suppose. At least it's not doing fucking heroin or something. Oh, try time. Do I have a new setup for the auto mod? No. Taiwan's cricket saved my butt. I've actually been watching a Taiwan-based, I said China, Taiwan-based YouTuber a bit recently. He's a bit of a character. Huge pass. He cuts out like 4 players. Yeah, that's been coming for a while, man. New South Wales have been turning the screws even when Queensland went back to full strength. What type of vids are best performing? Internationals. Anything about internationals do well. Let's go by Daniel Tupou. Seems like a good player. He's pretty lanky dude for a winger. Has Caleb Clark recovered from his hamstring injury to make the All Blacks this year? No, not yet. Daniel Tupou is the best guy ever seen under a high ball. Maybe he should try his hand at rugby union. It is 20 points to 12. So it's a 2-score game, folks. Have you had that before because new from history? Oh, what am I missing? Some kind of auto filter thingy? I had it once turned on for posting links. It blocked any links. That's pretty much it. So we're not doing any in-depth analysis of Paul Bear versus King Country. Nah. Unfortunately, no. I did Mitre 10 first year, or NPC first year I was doing this channel, and no. There's a few things I've done, kind of like, you could say for the love of the game, you could say to try and grow the game. The MLR, like I try to do at least a video on the MLR every week when the season's going to try and help grow that game a little bit. Because there's not a lot of content out there for it. It's a growing market. I've done the Women's Six Nations, but I mean, again, trying to grow the game a bit, but none of those videos get any fucking views. They get like a couple of hundred views. I mean, I'm expanding my own knowledge by watching those games and getting a bit of enjoyment out of it, so yeah, you don't get any money for it. 52 minutes already. Yeah, the game's flying. This is compared to game one, this is so far a really interesting game. Watched a couple of MLA games weeks ago. Seattle versus Umanga's side. Yeah, they're free. They don't. They have one of the few rugby competitions which is not behind a bloody paywall. So yeah, the quality can be a bit of a mixed bag, but you can still see some exciting stuff. Rugby video games are crap. What would you have in a rugby video game? Oh, man. I'm honestly quite happy to play a game that looks a bit like shit as long as it plays well, as long as it's fun to play. There's a lot of rugby games out there that just are not very fun to play. I would rather it be a slightly less realistic interpretation of rugby if it was fun to play. You know what I mean? Like, John Olomu Rugby was fucking, balls to the wall action, fun game, but a bit of button mashing and whatnot. But I don't mind if it's a bit arcadey as long as it's fun. Whereas some games seem to take themselves really seriously and try to make like a scrum mini game, some kind of, I don't know, man. I think their games just need to make the scrum a restart. Don't worry too much about it. I know it's hard because it's a big part of real rugby, but most of us aren't playing a rugby union video game to get into the real scrummaging. The problem with rugby union video games is you've got to design the main game with the running, passing, tackling, scoring tries, offloading, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got to design a scrum mini game, a line out mini game, a ruck mini game, a goal kicking mini game. So, is that Cobbo? Go on, Cobbo. Yeah, and it's hard to make all those things fun and competitive. Like, if I had to play a rugby game, I'd rather the running and kicking part be fun and everything else they can spend a little bit less money on. The only person who plays rugby video games for the Scrum is Franz Malchober. Yeah, pretty much. In Rugby '08, they were pretty much just a restart. They weren't really that competitive. Likewise, the rucks, you just had to put your guys in. It was kind of like realistic rugby. If your ball carrier was isolated, you were likely to lose the ruck, and if you had support players behind you, you were likely to win the ruck, kind of thing. And you could obviously play guys with better stats and rucking, which would help out too, but there wasn't like a real in-depth mini game for Rugby '08's rucking. And it's a niche sport, like Big VH says. Yeah, there's not much return on investment for a pretty complicated game to make. Thoughts on this game, Sinead, man? No, this game's good. Although Queensland could use a score between now and full time to make it interesting, because right now it's like game one in terms of the momentum. It's all with New South Wales. Last time it was all Queensland. Rugby '06, the crossfield kick was too overpowered. Yeah, there were still some. I mean, even '08, which people talk about like it was perfect, they had heaps of bugs in it. Like if you had a 5 meter line out, you could pretty much be guaranteed a try because there was a move that would at least get you like a couple of meters forward. If you had a 5 meter scrum, the defense never set anybody on the blind side, so you could pretty much just pass to the blind side and be guaranteed a score. There was like a bunch of exploits. There was like a tell with the AI on the line-out throws that you could literally steal their line-out every single time. Oh, what a try. Man, that was really shit defending from Queensland. I think this game's going to be done. This game's going to be done, folks. I don't know. Is this an easy comeback for Queensland? Seems like a pretty convincing scoreline to me. Defense was piss poor. That's what I thought also, Richard. He just beats 1, 2. Too easy, man. You can't be missing tackles like that. He just looked up and backed himself. 1, 2. I mean, the second tackle was always going to be a tough one, but the first one way too soft. Rugby fans are almost in a complaint about game not being realistic. Yeah, honestly, man, I would rather play one that's dumb and fun than realistic and a chore, personally. Even series makes the decider much more interesting. Big VH. Yeah, in my mind prior to this game starting, I was thinking it'd be nice for New South Wales to win, because then that makes the final game actually a proper game instead of a dead rubber. Mario Kart, yeah, pretty much. It needs to be like Mario Kart. Dumb fun. John and Lomba Rugby was honestly like that, right? John and Lomba Rugby was a pretty simple game, but it was very fun. 12-point is a huge lead in Origin. Alright. He's nailed the conversion. 26-12. $14 is an insurmountable lead at this level. Massive. 20 minutes to go though. Rugby 22 is a game you can live with, Xavier. Yeah, I mean, Rugby 22 is okay. I don't think it's that fun. I think it's a bit boring, but like it's okay. It's serviceable. Gonna watch the Māori in Ireland? For sure, Carl, man. It's gonna be massive. Some good good players in that Māori All Blacks team, and I would imagine it's going to be a pretty young Irish team as well. Yeah, the passing, like Richard says, is that's the most annoying thing in Rugby 22. It's like you will have an overlap. And like the pass is just so slow to get to him. The defense just comes across. It's a grind. That's why I mean it's not that fun. Like I can win. I know how to win. But yeah, it's a bit grindy. Especially because you got to play it on the top difficulty to make it not stupidly easy. Queensland have a history of incredible comebacks. All right, we'll see. Not over, but yeah. There's still a quarter of the game, so just need all the teams in one video game. Yeah, the licensing thing kind of sucks. Big old boot on the third tackle from Queensland. Someone explain to me, why did they kick early there? Why did they kick 2 tackles early? Rugby 15 back in the day was one of the worst games of the year. Oh, won an award for worst game of the year. I never played Rugby 15, thankfully. But yeah, apparently it was pretty shit. Can have all the license in the world win if the game is shit. Yeah, if I had to choose a game that was fun and was like Team Black against Team Red, I would play that over a fully licensed All Black Springboks game, which played like shit. All about the gameplay, folks. Captain's Challenge. Uh-oh. There's no... Bundaberg Captain's Challenge. I love how they sponsor it. He's just dropped it. Surely. Surely he's just dropped it cold. Or is his foot in there? Ooh, maybe there's a wee sneaky foot in there. It's hard to tell from that angle. Look, the other angle looks like he just dropped it cold. That angle looks like he just drops it. Yeah. Why would you appeal that? Grant spent actual money on it. Oh, man. Rough. The 2011 Rugby World Cup game was fun. That one was essentially Rugby 08 with like a new look on it, but yeah. Also didn't have all the licenses. Did the Queensland boys seriously just get turned over in their own... Even the tackle clock doesn't know what to do here. Stuck on third. Oh, man. Bloody hell. This is a bit of a hiding. Yep. This is an absolute hide in this one. Bloody hell, 30 points to 12. Oh man, that's a sneaky way to one-on-one strip. Like the tackle starts as 3-on-1 and then the other guy's abandoned ship. I don't know you can do that. That's crazy. We have a PS2 in our changing room for my first 15 play Rugby 08 before training. Man, it's sad you're still on Rugby 08. But yeah, it is what it is. Why do they hold them on the ground for longer than seems necessary? I think, Alan, so the defensive line can form back up 10 metres back. I assume that's what it is. Darmody doing some online shopping. What are you shopping for, man? Rugby jerseys. Is it rugby jerseys? No, he's going to get this. It's going to be 32. Just chuck it in now, Mark. You don't need to wait. Not going to miss that one. Told you earlier, gang tackle and communicate the other guys to let go. You can make a play for the ball. Okay. That's pretty sneaky then. I just assumed it was like one-on-one from the start. Can be a strip. Don't buy Rugby 15. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won't buy Rugby 15. $32-12. It's like a Rugby World Cup final scoreline, that one. Did the kickoff not go far enough? Or was it somebody offside of the kickoff? What happened there? Fully know just some new clothes, but maybe have a quick look for jerseys. Yeah, man, have a look for some jerseys. Rugby 08 Collins, number 8 all day. Brian O'Driscoll was pretty quick. Who were some other star players in that game? Wish the Tars turnout was like this. I mean, to be fair, this is more like international rugby in terms of attendance. But yeah, I don't even know. Like the Wallabies don't always sell out all their games, so... Do you reckon the Crusaders could beat the Māori All Blacks? I reckon they would. Not because... Oh my god, this is a rout. Cleary's just got another one. Unbelievable. This is a flipping rout, folks. But yeah, the Crusaders play together every week in, week out. So those kind of cohesion levels, the Māori All Blacks who are just getting together with like a week's notice, they can't match that. Oh, was that just a dummy? Yeah, it's just a straightforward dummy and straight over. Goodness me. If USA get beat by Chile, they're out of the World Cup. I think they can still go into the final repechage. I think. I forget the model. There's like a map that shows you all the possible paths to the World Cup. I think the USA will still have one chance to get in. But it's the hardest way. The old double pump works a treat in league seemingly well, mate. I'm just going to put the score up because it's going to be 38 because he ain't going to miss that one. So these aren't real clubs, these are players from other clubs. Exactly, Elliot. Yep. This is like an all-star team. Exactly right. I used to edit Rugby Away and the other jerseys from my league. Gaspar, mate. Me and my Aussie mate used to edit players as well, because there were some things in Rugby 08 we didn't like the guys kicking for touch could kick fucking way longer than like realistically possible. So we shortened all their kicking powers to make it a bit more realistic, and like a bunch of other stuff. We updated to current players, and yeah, it was pretty fun. 38-12. Yeah, man. There's a hiding. This could be 50. Maybe not. It could be 40 something. I didn't filter any swearing out of the chat, guys. I don't know why it would be doing that. Maybe YouTube's gotten stricter on their end, but I don't think I put any. I didn't put any no fucks in the in the rules anyway. Wilkinson, Carter, O'Gara, Henson, Montgomery could kick the entire field in 08. Yeah, so me and my mate edited that stuff out. We reduced their kicking back to a more realistic level. Queensland is shocking. Well, it's weird. They won the last game and they were pretty dominant, but this one's been an absolute turnaround. Totally new mark. No complaints really. Wish YouTube could do something about the bots though. Yeah, I really don't know how the bots thing works, eh? I saw them in the All Blacks when they did their team naming. They broadcast it to YouTube. Like the bots were on that stream as well. So I think the bots just jump on any live stream they find. Oh, another strip. Unbelievable. Queensland are having a fucking stinker. Excuse my language. The side is going to be a Krakowitamu. I agree. I'd have had this already. What's the guess for the ABs Ireland? I mean, I think 2-1 would be a good series. Make the third game a decider. NZ Cricket update. New Zealand creeping towards 200 to crawl. Mitchell is a rock. I wish I knew who those people were, but I haven't followed cricket for ages. Bots probably make a new account for everyone that gets banned. Yeah. I don't know how people are making money out of that, but somehow they must be making money out of it, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. Ireland haven't won a match in New Zealand. They came really close. They got within a couple of points of us one year, and then the next match we gave them a hiding. You should incentivize swearing by doing £1 for every swear word. Have you ever seen what's that movie with Sylvester Stallone with the seashells? What's that movie? Demolition Man. Have you ever seen Demolition Man where he doesn't know how to use the toilet? And there's that like swearing machine? That's a great scene. Demolition Man. Yeah, man. He doesn't know how to use the seashells, and every time he swears, he gets a little swear penalty ticket. So he just swears to make toilet paper, basically. 2 cents rugby, I find 2 credits for a kind. Yeah. You've seen Demolition Man. That's a classic. That's like a proper, like, kind of dumb but fun 90s action movie. I love that kind of movie. Movies these days, I'm speaking like an old man, but man, like movies these days, they don't have the same appeal of like a Predator or an Aliens, or I know those are 80s, but like Demolition Man. Like all the dumb Arnie, Sylvester, Jean-Claude Van Damme, all those dumb movies. Those were fun. Total Recall, yeah, exactly. Fucking classic. Rambo, Under Siege, Under Siege. What's that guy's name? What's that? Steven Seagal. Oh man, Steven Seagal. Die Hard, yeah, Die Hard. I think is on a slightly different level. I mean the last Die Hard movies I refused to watch, but yeah, the original Die Hard was a more realistic movie, if you can call it that, compared to some of the other over the top ones. New South Wales might be going to get another try here. It's their first tackle. If Demolition Man was in New Zealand, then instead of Taco Bell, what would the surviving restaurant be in New Zealand? Maybe like a Domino's Pizza or something like that. Con Air, yeah. Last game was closer. This game's got more points. Like Alaran said earlier, it's the classic argument. Like, this game's clearly had more skills, but I'm pretty checked out by this point because this is just embarrassing. It's a blowout. I think I'd probably take the close finish. I will take the first half of this week and the second half of last week or last game. Old man's club. Basically, Ellen, mate. That's how I know I'm getting old. Like, they had some deal on with our, like, one of our reward schemes over here that if you signed up for Disney Plus, they would give you a shitload of the reward points. And I was like, man, there's about as many reward points they're going to give you as Disney Plus costs. So I signed up for Disney Plus for a month. And I've watched a few movies on there, and they're all old as fuck ones that I hadn't seen before. Like, I watched Tom Hanks' Big. I watched Harrison Ford and, what's Antonio Banderas? Melly Griffith in Working Girl, like with my missus. Like, I watched some just old 80s shitty comedies. Like, Big is actually not shitty. It's kind of a weird movie. But, yeah, I didn't watch anything new because I'm an old man. I wanted to watch 80s movies. Yeah, I know that Brendan McCullum is coaching England. That is true. I'm not really following cricket, but even I heard that news. That's true. Let's go fucking Blue. Yeah, the Blue's doing alright. You guys are absolutely shellacking these guys. 44 points to 12. Goodness me. Starship Troopers, that's an absolute classic, that one. Caddyshack. Oh man, I haven't seen that for years. But yeah. Queensland was down a man for like 10 minutes and they conceded a couple of tries, but that's about it. They've been back to 13 for ages. Thank goodness for Queensland, there's only 4 minutes left. Happy Gilmore. That's also a classic. Running Man. Oh, man. That's one of my favorites. I had that on VHS back in the day. The old Running Man. Sylvester Stallone. Richard Dawson from Hogan's Heroes was the baddie. Goodness me, I'm showing my age, folks. Richard Dawson's been dead for a number of years, as have pretty much the entire cast of Hogan's Heroes. Except for maybe the guy who played the French guy. He was alive last time I checked, but that's a number of years ago. Sergeant Schultz is long dead. You just saw the crowd, it's all blue. I think all the Maroons fans have left. Yeah. One thing that's a bit weird about League is they often call them their first names, eh? Ever read the book? No, I never read the book. Thousands of pissed up Aussies in Coventry will be having a great night out. Oh, there were some Maroons fans before in the crowd, but a lot of them seem to have left their seats. And maybe decided to beat the traffic. Val Kilmer used to be the guy. Yeah, poor Val Kilmer. VHS. I had VHS, mate. Big time. I had Under Siege on VHS when I was a rather young fella, and there was a certain scene with a cake that I would rewind and watch again because I was a curious young man. Just putting that out there. Disgusting performance by the Maroons. They've not been good. This is true. No, I never saw the Chopper movie, Richard, mate. Never saw it. American Pie. That's getting a bit new, but that's a classic as well. What was that lady's name? Erica Eleniak, right? She was like in Baywatch, I think. No, that's the guy would eat that cake in 3 seconds. Yeah, he'd be more worried about the cake than what popped out of it. American Pie was 1999. I know, but I was a grown-up by that stage, or at least I was, I don't know, not as young as like when Die Hard came out. No, it was Mission Speed, yeah. Did anyone see Speed 2 Cruise Control? Now that was a fucking load of shit, that movie. That movie was terrible. Really, really, really terrible. Why the fuck did they make a Speed 2? Like, Speed was such kind of like of a unique movie, right? Like, you can't really... Like, that's not the movie you make a sequel of. Anyway. Cobo decides not to run it. 30 seconds to go, folks. That was with Temuera. It was. Because the money, I know. It's like how every fucking Disney movie now has to have a live action version because they don't want to write new stories. Anyway, getting grumpy old man mode. A lot of bad sequels, yeah. Aliens was one of the few good sequels that's out there. What a reversal, indeed. Swear count, it's 19, it's 16. You guys don't even fucking know how many swears we had. Do ya? You totally lost count. Tim was in Boba Fett. No, I can't bring myself to watch any of those Star Wars TV series, man. Yeah, I can't bring myself to watch them. Or the Marvel TV series. I can't watch them. Yeah, The Godfather had some good sequels, of course. There's exceptions to the rule, but they're exceptions. For sure. Anyway. 44-12, folks. What a hiding. I didn't see that coming, but I wouldn't. So, yeah. Yeah, well done. Game Decider is on the 13th of July. I don't know if I'll watch that because I would imagine that's in the middle of International Rugby Union time. There'll probably be something on at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. So, of course, the Union will take preference, but I'll certainly keep an eye on the result. But, yeah, what a hiding. What a hiding. 44-12. Yeah. Anyway, folks. Yeah, Māori All Blacks against the Irish on Wednesday. That's only a few days. What a good time to be alive. Even if all the movies that come out these days are shit. Either that, or I'm just a grumpy old fart. But anyway. Yeah. Cheers, guys, for keeping us company as we watched the league. We didn't have as many bots this week. But we certainly got a lot more points in the game. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and yeah, I will catch you guys for another one at some point soon. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.